Hello, my city. Hello, my honey. Hello, my ragtime gal. Send me a kiss by wire. Baby, my heart's on fire. I don't know the words to the rest of the song, but we'll just make it up. Oh, baby, telephone and tell me I'm your own. Nice. Hi, welcome back. I don't know what that was, but I've been singing some Linkin Park and some Ghost and a little bit of musical theater for the past hour. So I thought, why not continue that into a video? Because apparently that's a thing I do. All right. Anyway, hi, welcome back to City Skylines. I don't remember the last time I actually did like an intro to a video where I actually said hi, but hi, welcome back to Nerdström. I hope you're having a good one because I'm excited to be back. I'm not, you know what, we're not even gonna make excuses about why there's not been any videos. We're back. I have been watching a little bit of City Skylines stuff on YouTube recently, and I don't usually do that. But I've been looking at what other people have been doing, and I've been looking at a lot of people that do sort of tutorials and guides on how to better lay out a city. And then I went to sleep, and I've woken up, and I've completely forgotten most of it. But I do want to make a point of trying to figure out a city center. And I think I've mentioned a couple of times in this series already that I want this space over here to almost be like an old town. I want to do a European style over here. It's quite flat, so it's going to be quite good for the European buildings. It is going to have to be on a grid, and quite a strict grid at that, because the European buildings nicely wrap around corners and stuff like that. But I do want to do that, and I do want to have an old town over here, and I do think that'd be kind of cool. I think having a train station, you know, maybe having a train that comes into the old town and then goes back out would be kind of cool. I think we're not going to do metro over here. We can do buses. Maybe trolley buses would be an interesting idea as well. Just something a little more interesting looking, just in a visual sense. That might be kind of cool to do. But that is something I want to do over here. But before we get to that, we kind of need to just build the population. We need to make sure our income is good and steady and is quite considerable. So what I think we'll do is we're going to look here, and we're going to throw a bunch of pipes into this space over here onto all of these roads, because I want to bring the zoning out this way, and I also need to bring it that way. So let's go ahead and do something like about that should be fine. We'll bring you down to about there, and we're going to have these guys just sort of run straight out like that, and that'll be fine. There is a bit of weird zoning going on with this road here, so we're just going to get rid of it and replace it just to make sure it nicely lines up with everything. So that space is going to have water, which is fantastic. But I think what I'm going to do is, actually, before I even get to zoning, I want to look at education, because elementary schools, we have a good number of them. We're probably going to need more if we continue to grow the population. So what have we got? $125,000. This is 10,000. Let's throw an elementary school there, and let's do one behind it as well. So we'll kind of double up elementary schools over there. High schools are, I mean, we have 2 of them. Let's throw another one into, let's throw one into the middle over here. So something a bit like that. I've got prop and tree anarchy on. I shouldn't have. That's a little bit annoying. It also won't turn off. My shortcut to turn it off is not working, which is interesting. So that's gonna ever so slightly complicate things. Hold on a minute. Why is prop and tree anarchy Shift P? Right? I wasn't doing Shift P. That's why. So yeah, my shortcut's working fine. But what I do kind of want to do is I want to come over here, and I want to start cutting into this, and I want to start making it look a little bit interesting. I want to, you know, we've got a high school right in the middle of all this this neighborhood here. So let's take out a space around the high school there, and let's take out a space in front of the high school there, so that we can do some kind of parks or something like that. I want to do the same sort of around this high school as well. So what I'm going to do there, now what is this? That's an elementary school. Okay. Let's move the elementary school to there, and let's take out, let's see, let's take out this zoning here, all of it, right? So that's going to give us a bit of space around those roads to do some parks, And then over this way as well, we have a high school on this corner. This one's going to be a little bit simpler. So it's just going to be a case of cutting away all of that, and then we can put some stuff behind it to make it look a little bit more visually interesting. That is something I want to do. I want to have those empty spaces, and, you know, it's like I've been saying a few times as well. Once we get the, where is it? It's a certain thing we're looking for. The cathedral. We need $500,000. It's going right there. Because I think it would look really interesting having the cathedral right there. But that's $500,000 down the line. That's not right now. But we've gone ahead and we've got another high school, so our capacity there is pretty good. We have enough elementary. We're not really doing anything with universities yet. Because honestly, ooh. Could I get a university campus over here on this island? We probably could, but I don't know. We'll figure that out. We might do a university campus on this island, just do the entire thing, but it's not really flat in the building. It's going to be weird, but we'll figure it out. Alternatively, what we could do is maybe university campus in kind of, it's a bit of a hill. I don't know where we're going to do a university campus is what I'm getting at. Maybe here. This is relatively flat, so opposite the old town or something. I don't know. We'll figure it out. It's fine. There's no real rush to do it. I've also decided I kind of want rid of this industrial area. I'm not, oh, that would be a good university. Right down there, university campus and all that space. We might have to do that. We might have to do, so there's two reasons I want rid of this industrial area. One, it's a nightmare for traffic. You know, these intersections are too close together and there's only one way in and one way out. And two, I think a university might look really good there. So we might have to do that. But anyway, let's focus up for a second because I said we were going to start putting some zoning over here. I am going to continue to use the low density residential for the time being, because I figure that's going to be the better bet, is to stick with the lower density stuff just until we are in a situation where, you know, we have enough education to start, you know, leaning into. Well, I say that. I think we might do a little bit of high density. Not that much, but maybe we take out this and this, and we'll do this area as high density, something like that. Maybe this whole space. We'll do a bit of high density residential there. And then I think for the elementary schools down here, we could do a similar thing as we've done before, where we take out some zoning there, and we'll do some kind of little park around this just to make it look kind of nice. So that'll be pretty good. I think that'll look fantastic. And by fantastic, I mean, I think it'll work well for the population and not be visually interesting at all, but that's fine. But I think that is something we can let that build up. We can let the population climb. We are approaching being a big city, which is when we're going to get the liberal arts college campus area, which is very fantastic and very exciting. Very exciting is the word I wanted there. Not very fantastic, but whatever. Very fantastic, I guess. Yeah, I think this area here, I think this industrial area, I think the best thing for it would be to get rid of it and make it a university. So the question kind of becomes, where would the industry from here go? And maybe that's what this island could be. It's a beautiful island and the rocks on it are just, I mean, I don't know. This island could be like a park. It could be a big nature reserve or something like that. That could be kind of interesting. Right in the middle of or right on the edge of a city as well. That'd be a beautiful place for it. I think that industry might just have to go somewhere else. I think that might be the reality of it, but we'll figure that out. What I do want to do while we're waiting for everything to build is I want to come over to the forestry area, because as it turns out, we can put a cargo train station. Well, we can't really put it here because there's things there, but it will line up so nicely with that train track. And we can get it to line up really nicely up here as well. So what I'm thinking I'm going to do is I'm going to take these rocks out of here. And I'm going to take this guy out of here. And I'm going to try to get this to line up really nicely. So if I do this, and then I grab you, aha, look at that. So that lines up beautifully. So we can take this out completely. We can go in here. We can place a cargo train station there, which does flatten things in kind of a weird way, but that's all right. I think what we're actually going to have to do is move it to select buildings, as well as Is that a building? That is technically a building. So buildings, nodes, and segments need to be selected here. I want to grab all of these. And I want to level them to a common height. Which might be a little strange given some of the hills here, but I'm going to level them to a common height for a second, and then we'll figure it out. So level to that height. So everything's nice and flat there. That's actually not too bad in terms of hills and all that, but we'll see what it looks like when it's done. We want to connect you to there, which is apparently too short, but there we go. That's been fixed. Let's also force it to stay on the ground. There we go. And then this guy is going to come in and go to, I don't know, there, right? So that seems a little steep. Maybe this needs to come up a little bit. And let's see. This guy here needs to come back a little bit and be raised ever so slightly. Oh, this is actually a little strange. Hold on. Maybe what we do, bring this into there. Bring it to there. Bring it to there. So we should have 3 nodes where we can go bring it to that height. Oh no, we don't really have 3 nodes. Okay, well, we're gonna have to come off of about here. And then that should give us an extra node, which it absolutely did. So snap that to that height and snap you to that height. There we go. So that follows the same curve, the same, you know, hill and all that. It's a bit weird looking, but I kind of like it. And we now have this space in here to play with. So I think that looks good. I like the idea that we have this old factory that maybe once received, you know, all sorts of deliveries, but they've just, you know, the factory's abandoned and they just use the cargo train terminal to get things in and out of here. I like it. I really like it. Let's go ahead and turn that road into an industrial road. I think that'll be a pretty good shot. And I think what we'll do is bring this road up to here. And I think we'll go ahead and do, let's see, let's get this elevated. Let's go to, let's say 8 meters and see if I can get this to curve like that. I totally can. Okay. So that curves really nicely. And then this needs to come over and sort of curve nicely as well. So let's go from here. And let's go and do straight slope, which we'll keep on there. We'll go, let's say 14 down to ground level. And then basically we just kind of need this to curve around like this. Which is a bit strange looking. I think we're going to have to raise some of this up and get some consistent heights across the board. But I like this. It's just a little, it's a little different is all it is. So let's select these nodes. And let's slope them a little bit. I don't like this slope here. I'm not so sure about that. Let's raise you up a little. Maybe that should be level with everything, and then this hill could just be, this incline can be a little bit longer. So let's go to here, which is maybe a little too long. Let's go 20 and down to ground level, which is still pretty steep, honestly. But I think I will, I'll allow it. It seems all right. Now, what are we going to do for this curve is the question. This needs to be at ground level. This needs to be there. This goes that way, and you go that way. And that's 4, that's 5. Ooh, is that only, that's 9. Ooh. Okay, well, there is a way I can make this work. I think. By doing this. So that'll split that. That should give me 5 there and, well, 4 there. But that is a midpoint. So what would this be? That looks about right to me. And that looks about right to me. So if I take this out, I should be able to come in here with just a nice simple curve that way. If I take this out, we should be able to do a nice simple curve that way. And that looks all right to me. I kind of like it. It's a bit weird, for sure, but I kind of like it. I also think this needs to be the same height as these nodes here. So let's just object height there. And then take this all out completely. And let's just do a nice straight slope from that spot going right up to there. That looks ridiculous. Oh, that looks ridiculous. Okay, there might be a better way to do that. Let's maybe make the curve a little more gentle, just so it doesn't look as ridiculous as it does. That looks a little better. And this guy here, that's acceptable, I think. I'll take it. Yeah, I can live with that. That's fine. So it's not going to be interrupting any of the trains. We've got vehicles coming up here. As for power generation, I mean, we could just do a wind turbine. We could just bring some power cables up, but I think I'm just going to do a wind turbine because it's a little bit easier. So we'll throw a wind turbine. I don't know. Do we want it right next to the road? I mean, it wouldn't hurt, I guess, but we'll do a wind turbine, I don't know, back there. And that'll give power to this place. As for water, I mean, to be honest, just bring this straight down, line it up there, and go like that. And there we go. So that'll give water to the cargo train terminal, and it'll, you know, get up and running and be fantastic. It's in a pretty cool place, I think. And it'll work nicely for the forestry industry that we have going here as well. So overall, no complaints in terms of our little cargo train station. The thing is, that's going to make what I mentioned earlier worse. Traffic for this industrial area is already quite bad. So really, this is going to make the problem worse. What we could do, if I really wanted to, is we could bring this road further up and connect it in here, or we could connect it up there if we really, really wanted to. But the thing is, you end up in a situation where, you know, traffic is having to go onto the highway and go all the way around to get to somewhere that's, you know, let's say you wanted to go from this building to that building, right? You need to go up here onto the highway. You would need to go all the way up here, turn and come all the way back down. It just seems a little counterintuitive. Also, we're a big city, not bad. We might want to look into that in terms of college areas. But I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna probably regret doing this, but I'm gonna do this, right? We're gonna bring that straight across. We're gonna take you out, bring you out as well, bring you up to there, and we're gonna do this. We're gonna have 2 points at which, you know, the roads sort of cross over each other. I'm not sure about this at all, to be perfectly honest, and I'm really, really tempted to use these guys, the vanilla overpass project roads, but for the life of me, and I know I mentioned I was going to use these, but I cannot for the life of me remember how it would actually work. So I think we'll experiment. I'll experiment with these, I think off camera, just to try and figure out how they work, because I really have completely forgotten. Yeah, I really have no idea, and then that is, I don't know what that is. So yeah, it's going to be a case of figuring out what things do and how they work, and remembering, you know, what exactly they're for, because this is, I think, our overpass or something like that. It's, yeah, it's a whole thing. There's a whole thing to figuring out how the vanilla overpass project is actually going to work. There's also going to be a whole thing to figuring out these lanes, because they're going to be a nightmare. So let's have this guy be able to turn right. Let's have this guy be able to go straight on. That then means this guy needs to be able to turn left, which is kind of a whole thing. So you don't go straight on anymore. You go there. Oh my, this is a whole thing. You can no longer turn left, but you can go straight on. I think that's right. I want to say that's right. You cannot go to the right, but don't go straight on anymore. This seems like it might be an idea to just reset the junction completely. So let's figure this out. And I wouldn't usually just walk through this entire process. So I'd usually cut this out of a video, but I'm not going to do that. So let's do it from this angle. So from here, we want them to be able to go to the right. We also want them to be able to go straight on, which would be that right there, right? We also want them to be able to go to the left So you need to be able to go from here to that lane, and then from that lane to there. And I think that's everything. So if we mirror that, we want you to go right. We want you to go to both of those. We want you to be able to go to both of those, and you to be able to go to the left. Okay, so that's both sides not done. This is a mess. You need to be able to go. I guess we don't want them U-turning. That's the thing. We really don't want them U-turning. So I could force that by saying this guy can only go to that lane rather than that one, because that would let him U-turn. So if we do that, you can go to either lane there, and you can go straight on. Okay, so we do the same on this side, where you can go to that one, you can go to those two, and you can go straight on. I want to say that's everything, so let's let it run. Let's also set up the priority signs, so give way and give way. And let's see what that ends up doing, because we will have a bit of U-turning and stuff like that. Not U-turning, but yeah, this needs traffic lights. This needs timed traffic lights is what this actually needs. Good Lord, what have I done? I think the concept is there, but the timed traffic lights are what's really going to make this work. Honestly, what would really make it work is not having a highway going through the middle of it completely, but that's fine. If anything, I've made it worse. And honestly, that's a Conflict Nerd staple at this point, so I don't know what you were expecting. You know, as bad as this is, I want to point out that I have done one thing, and one thing only here. I have made the smallest possible roundabout in City Skylines. That's what this is. It's working as a roundabout. It's just so small, it's completely ineffective and just causes this to happen. So, yeah, I mean, I've got that going for me, right? That's about the only good thing to come out of this particular decision to do this with roads. Yeah, we might need to rethink this plan is what we might need to do. I might also need to just, you know, not have all of this industrial traffic over here. That would probably help as well. And maybe throw more lanes at things and maybe just, I don't know, not be an idiot. Might be a good idea. Because, well, this is sort of clearing out down here, actually. If this ends up working, I'll be amazed. I'm just gonna say that right now, because I did change the priority signs a little bit. So if we do the same here and make these guys priority and make the highways give way, in theory, the traffic on the highway, it shouldn't back up this way. I'm also going to say you guys don't enter the junction and you guys don't enter the junction unless there's room. So we'll see what that does. We'll see if that ends up clearing out. I'd be very, very surprised if this ends up indirect or accidentally working, but I'm going to leave it be for the time being, because we did have some good news in the little cut in the video there. As it turns out, the woods have leveled up a little bit, and we also have a lot of industrial traffic coming through here. Good Lord. Good Lord, there's a lot of it. Okay. I want to make a change to this, actually. I want to come in here and I want to put one of these roads into this space, because I just feel like it's probably for the best. So we're going to do this. We're going to have that divider up the middle. So traffic going in comes on this, you know, it's not cutting across each other, basically, is what we've done there. And that means it should maybe flow a little bit better. So hopefully that ends up just helping ever so slightly. But in terms of the lumber area, we got the sapling greenhouses, we had the sawmill already. We have got the biomass pellet plant, which will make paper, which is interesting. That could be a good thing to have. We have sawdust storage as well. In terms of factories, we have a furniture factory, which will take planed timber and paper to make furniture. Interesting. Are we making plain timber? I guess the sawmill probably does that. Yeah, so, I mean, we could, if we really wanted to, throw this fella out here and start making some, we could start making some furniture, which would be kind of neat, to be totally honest. This is still backing up like crazy here. I'm not sure how I feel about any of this, but I'll tell you what we do have is we have got an area in here for a factory. We could put a factory right along the highway if we really wanted to. Same with down here. Actually, that'd be kind of a cool spot for a factory, I think. But we'll see. Maybe just up in here at some point. But again, we'll see. I don't know if we want to add more industry into any of that space. What I do want to do is I do want to put this biomass pellet plant over here somewhere. And I'm kind of looking at this space in here and thinking that would be kind of neat to have it like in with the train going around it. So let's see if that's a thing. Let's see if that's going to be an option. So if I go, you know, about here and I go 8 right up to the train line and I go, you know, there-ish up to the train line. Yeah, we actually, oh, we're a Grand City as well. Okay. We got the intercity bus terminal, bus metro hub. You know what we've not been doing? We've not done anything for heating yet, and we do need to do that. So that's something I'm gonna have to work on very, very soon, is getting some heating in here. Also, can I snap to train lines? I totally can. I love it. Oh, it's gonna be a beautiful little neat district here, which, by the way, I haven't forgotten about the Neat Districts t-shirt. I've had a couple of people tweet me saying, hey, don't, you know, dum-dum, don't forget to, you know, make that t-shirt. I haven't forgotten. I'm just trying to figure out exactly what the design's going to look like. I know what I want it to look. So that's the thing, right? With like art in general, in your head, you can be like, oh, I know what it's going to look like. It's going to be amazing. And then you realize that you are in fact completely devoid of any artistic talent. This might just be me. I'm not projecting here. I'm not saying you are. I'm saying I am. Completely devoid of any artistic talent, and you kind of have a moment of, oh yeah, I need someone that actually has talent to design this. So it's in the works. All right, it's in the works. It'll happen eventually. Good news is we have our paper plant here, and I think it's in kind of a cool spot. I do want to throw more trees around it though, just to make it look like it is, you know, in the forest. So we'll go ahead and just do a little bit of this, and we'll throw some trees sort of up around there as well, and we'll bring some trees over this way. In fact, let's just sort of get a little bit more tree density going around here, and just to really sell the idea that we're out in some forest here, because it's not quite as dense as I'd like it to be. And just down here a little bit too, and kind of that way. So like that. I think that looks all right. That's kind of a cool spot. Power-wise, we are probably going to want to start running some cables over here, because this place is going to be taking quite a bit of power. So let's go from there to there. And let's just go straight through everything. I think that'll be a pretty cool idea. So I wonder if that'll give me a connection. Does it? It does. There we go. So that'll power everything over on this side of things, which is beautiful. And then this guy has a wind turbine to power it, so that's fine. So that's a lot of traffic. I'm noticing actually that, yeah, this is a bit of a tailback going on here, actually. I wonder if I could fix that. I wonder if that's something I could, so say you guys can just enter the junction. That seems like it's going to clear it out a little bit. So that's all right. And maybe what we do is say you guys could maybe give way to traffic coming from there and there. And we'll see if that helps a little bit. So maybe, you know, we can try and get all this industrial traffic through. Yes, it's tailing back the rest of the highway, but I think it'll filter. I think it'll be okay. As for all of this, I mean, that's gonna be the way it is for the time being. That's fine. It's fine. I'm not super stressed about traffic tailing back right now. It's early days. We've got a long way to go to make this city what I want it to be. But what I do want to do is I do want to see what it's going to take to level this up again. So production's already there. Workers need to be a fair bit higher, but that is climbing. Policies wise, improved logistics, increase the capacity, increase the upkeep, improved worker is, yeah, sure, we'll do that. Advanced automation, increased upkeep and production output, sure, we'll do that. That'll probably bring the workers down a little bit, but that's all right. Yeah, so we're actually going to need more buildings to get more workers. That's all right by me. Do we want to do the sapling greenhouses, I guess, is the question. Because we could do some sapling greenhouses, but I don't know that they'd really belong. I'd almost rather just do more of the plantations, to be completely honest. So that's actually just what I'm going to do, is just throw more of the tree plantations in here. So something a bit like that. We'll go ahead and make sure that they're conifers, so they actually match the forest. That'll give us a maximum of 80 more workers on this, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so we're actually really close to having enough to level up again. Maybe what we do is throw another 2 of these guys in here, so one there and one there. That's conifer and conifer, and that should almost give us enough workers. We can have enough to level up, so I think we'll be all right. We just need a little bit of water coming up here. So up to there and to there as well. And I guess we'll go like this. And I guess we'll go like this. And that should give everything water that's going to need water. That's going to be some pretty good production, to be totally honest, for lumber right there. So I think we'll be okay. I think, you know, 335 workers and climbing. We've already produced enough. We're making paper. We're making plain timber. We could go ahead and put a factory around here. So, oh my God, that traffic. Okay. Let's do a roundabout, I think. Let's do a roundabout here, because this is just not working. Bring this back a little bit. And take this out of here. And let's see what we can do. So bring a road straight down. And then our mid spot is there. And that's fine. So let's do 7, 7. And then we'll go around like that, right? So we'll just do, you know, a 7 by 7 roundabout. Like this. And then we need it to connect in a way that's kind of going to make sense. So we want to go there and there and there and there. And, oh boy, what way do we want to do this? I think the highway is going to need to come back a little bit further just to make this real nice and neat. So the best way to do this, at least I think, would maybe be by using a little road like this. So we'll go 10 that way. And we'll go 10 that way. And we'll do, let's see here. So we want this to come into there. So 5 and 5. And then 5 and 5. And that'll give us kind of a nice even space to work with, because what we can do at this point is connect you to there. Obviously, road anarchy is going to be a bit of a problem, or not a problem, but it's going to be needed. But that gives us those little curves onto the highway. And then all we need to do is kind of bring these back a little bit further, turn on road guidelines, and somewhere along the way, these should kind of curve together. Not sure how neat it's necessarily going to be. That actually goes straight out there. That's a bit weird looking. That's fine though. That's probably all right, because what we can actually do is move this way, move you there. So that's not a nice straight section of highway. Curve it there and curve it there. Although really that should curve the other way. So that should be curving like this. So that node needs to move, I think. Actually, what if we just take you out and just do one straight section into here? And then do this. So it kind of curves in a little bit nicer. Take you out and do one straight section out of there. And it's not quite got the same curve that you'd want. I kind of want it to be more like this. But then I'd have to do this kind of back and forth nonsense. So... I want this to look good. I want this to function, so I'm gonna have to play with it a little bit. I really didn't realize how much traffic would come out this way. And I'm wondering if a lot of it's going that way because I've set this up wrong. Because I'm noticing a lot of it coming out and just U-turning to head back. And that kind of makes me think that I've set up some of these lanes incorrectly. I don't know why all of the traffic wants to go to the farthest right lane. That's a bit odd to me. Unless, oh, I think I see what I've done. Yeah, I do see what I've done there. So you don't go there, you go there instead. So traffic basically couldn't go where it wanted to go. That's exactly what's going on there. So it goes like that. So now we should see traffic move a little bit better. I think we should see it using more than just the one lane there. And some of it going straight across. Which means eventually this should actually filter out in a way that makes sense. So we'll give the round about a minute. And it should be fine. Is what I'm thinking. Should be. We'll certainly find out because I've certainly made it worse. But we are sitting on almost $1 million. We have over $500,000. So I'll tell you what we're going to do. Even though we don't need to. And it's maybe a little bit early. I want to get the cathedral. I want to put it right there because I think that's such a cool place for it. You know, I think that's a beautiful, beautiful place for the cathedral. We are having issues with power as well, which we should probably look into. We have demand for industry. We have demand for a lot of things, actually. I've kind of been neglecting the city here. So let's figure this out. Garbage disposal. That's obviously a big one. So let's do another couple of recycling centers because that seems like it would be a great idea. We'll do one there. We'll do one there. And that'll sort of help garbage a little bit. We do have these though. So waste transfer facility uses garbage trucks to collect and temporarily store garbage. Stored waste can be picked up by waste transfer trucks from the waste processing complex. The building pollutes less, so it can be built closer to the city center. The waste processing complex sends out waste transfer trucks to pick up garbage from waste transfer facilities and landfill sites for further processing into energy and recycled materials. Cannot collect garbage from buildings. This seems like it would be a really good building to have somewhere, but it has a big old pollution radius, so we're not going to bother with that yet. Eventually, but just not yet. A waste disposal building that turns... Is this a... I don't know if this is like a DLC thing or if that's something I've got from the... Oh, it's content creator packs. Okay. Alright, so that'll be... We'll have garbage dealt with a little bit. Power is an issue. But I think what I'm going to do, for one, is I'm going to move these oil power plants down this way. Now, I know I mentioned that I want to get rid of the industry from this space, and I want to put a... I do want to put a campus down here, but I think it might also be an idea to, at least for the time being, just stick with the plan and keep a lot of industry in this area. I do absolutely want to, you know, get all of this industry out of here as quick as I can, and I do want to put a campus down here, but just while we have this space, we might as well use it, I guess, is what I'm thinking. So let me take this out of here for a second, and let me take this road out of here for a second, because what we could do is take you out as well. We can do a geothermal plant there and a geothermal plant there. We can bring a little road just, let's see here, grab you and bring it down to, let's say, you know what? Looking at it, we could actually bring it to there. And then we can have zoning right up to that geothermal plant, which is probably fair enough. So we'll do this and we'll throw some zoning like that. And that'll be fine. that'll be totally fine. We are going to need to bring this road up to here as well. And this road here is about to become very, very busy with recycling center trucks. It's going to be very, very busy, but I'm kind of okay with that. It's not really the end of the world, so not too big of a deal. We can do some little roads like this as well, cutting into those spaces so people can walk back and forth. And I think that's a decent use of space for the time being. I also want to point out, traffic actually, well, you know what? I was going to say traffic has figured itself out here, but it's just because it's terrible up this way. It's not figured anything out. It's still just bad. Also, a lot of it's still... I feel like a lot of these guys... Where are you going? You're leaving the city, leaving... You're all U-turning to leave. That's a bit weird. Okay, well, I'm not really sure how I feel about that. But okay, we'll let it filter. We'll let it figure itself out. Half the city's on fire. A lot of them are complaining about not having power. A lot of them are dead because, you know, medical, probably. Yeah, healthcare availability is not good. Do we want to do an actual hospital? Oh, nice. That leveled up. Maybe we do an actual hospital. I feel like an actual hospital could be... It might be a little overdue at this point. So let's do an actual hospital there. And let me do the same thing I've done with education. Let me cut out the space around it so that we can turn it into like a nice sort of central building of sorts. So we'll do that. That's a bunch of ambulances heading off to do their thing. Garbage collection is hopefully going to figure itself out. Although I imagine, yeah, most of this traffic's made up of garbage trucks. That does not surprise me. Okay, well, I have definitely complicated things, and I think I've definitely made the flow of traffic in the city worse, which has made the availability of services worse as well. I've got some things that I think I need to figure out, because as it stands, Nerdström is in a weird place. I also want to point out we had near $900,000. We're down to $187,000 because I bought a cathedral. Worth it? I think so.